Where's Roland's review at? He's connecting.
Well, what's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Hope all of your weekend has been great, and I am happy to report that we finally found Troy Daniels, or I didn't find him, actually Brian Green, who's becoming my right-hand man, as well as the death of traffic cones. Found Troy Daniels, and he had been out under the weather there for a couple of weeks and stuff, but he is back and better than ever. And before I get into everything, let me go ahead and get this out the way.
Oh, big run. Oh, he fumbled. He fumbled. Now you about to lose his mind.
He hasn't seen the play yet.
Please tell me why
Oh, man. Yeah, I got to make sure I make fun of Philly at least once every show. So let me, without further ado, say hello to my group of people. I see, of course, James Nook is already on the screen right there in front of the locker room. What's up, James? How are you doing, man?
What's going on?
Man, ain't nothing going on but the rent. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
We are exactly 1 month away from the first practice. The Cowboys, a month from yesterday, will be reporting to training camp, and training camp opens 1 month from today. I am excited. It is coming very, very fast and hard and heavy, and I'm excited. How about you?
Oh, I'm pumped up.
You're pumped
Anytime
up?
I hear about Cowboys, I'm excited.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I had a little taste with them, with a few of them today. Let me check in on it with Troy Daniels. Troy, what's up? How are you doing, man?
Doing better, Mark. Thanks.
Yeah, we were worried about you because, we pulled your name out, and I was like, okay, we're going to send him another Tom Landry one, so that way he has the original piece, and then, he'll have a really good one to go with it. So you got my mistake, and you get a really good one. And speaking of the devil, it's
Hey, there he is,
the
the
death
man
to the
that found
cones man
me.
himself. What's up, Brian Green? Thank you for,
Cone
or
man.
should I say, Mr. Investigator, okay, my private eye, who found Troy Daniels. What's up, Brian? Brian, you're mute-mited. You're mute-mited. Your mic's muted. Damn. People are going to think I'm drunk. So, Troy, are you excited about the season?
Oh, I cannot wait. Usually tip kicks off around the 24th of July for us, which is a special holiday for the state of Utah, and I'm just stoked. I cannot wait to see preseason and how things go.
Well, I'm thinking about trying to go to training camp. Last year I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I found out that Cowboy fans, even though they like to say, we got 5 rings, they don't give a rat's ass about the guys that earned those 5 rings. They just don't. So I'm excited about that, and I'm thinking about, and this may need to be like a workcation. So I take Mama with me, and we spend a couple of days on vacation, and then some other days I work. Anybody who's married out there understands exactly what I'm talking about. That you can't just say, "Honey, I'm going to training camp." Oh, you are?
So, yeah,
are
I'll
you?
be gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'll be gone. Yeah, I'll be gone for a week in training camp. Oh, you are. And what about my vacation? So we're gonna work it out so that way we both get everything we want. Jennifer, oh Jenny, what's up, Jenny? How are you doing? Let me see. Do I actually have? Boom. I know Roland's review is out there. I don't know why she's not on the chat. What's up, Stacy? All right, so I see.
What's
Prime,
up, Troy? How you doing, buddy?
There you go.
Hey, Brian, thanks for letting me know those things. I mean,
We were
good
worried
golly.
about you, man.
Yeah, I was out for 2.5 weeks with COVID.
That just goes to show you when we do our thing here, whether it's Terrell or Jay Nook or Mark. If we don't see anybody, we
You get worried.
That's when you worry. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
This
I'm
day and
glad
age, you do.
you found me. Hey, thanks for reaching out to me, my friend.
Yep.
No problem, Troy. I'm glad you're good.
So, Brian, how you doing?
What he's won, Mark? I forget at this point.
Of course, Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman are the ones he won. So
You
yeah,
get all the good shit, Troy.
Hey, he's got my namesake, or I've got his namesake, one of the two.
all right. Well, I see. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think he was born like 2 years before I was.
Hey, Mark, just to let you know, I brought down. I don't know if you could see back here. I got the football gods.
Oh, there you go.
I got the picture of our buddy Stu. So it's right there.
Nice.
I forgot to bring it down for our live streams.
That'll work. It's nice to know that we're not that Tony Dorsett has one, that the Cowboys have one there. You got one, I got one. I was kind of like, wow, that's kind of cool. Somebody had sent me a link because somebody had one on eBay that was $899. There was also another one that was $4,000. So if you want one, look on eBay. You may never see it any less than that, which is still kind of pricey. But then again, after going to the autograph signing show, that shit is getting to be sky high.
Yeah, I just bought a Zeke one. It's just a Zeke. They don't have a Dak. They're all sold out. Zeke was like $200 right now. It's just a Zeke. I have a Troy up there on my ledge. Yeah, so it's a real good item now. It's a solid piece.
Cool beans. I see Primetime Phil. What's up, Primetime? You're mute-mited.
Yeah, my mute's mited?
Yeah. Okay. Your mic is muted.
This is the first time my actual mic is actually working right in the beginning of the show.
Okay.
What's up, Phil?
Phil, I actually hadn't gotten the email address that I'm supposed to send the video to you.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I sent it to you through the normal email. I sent you also through the website. So that's why I was like, okay, well,
I haven't had time to check shit. Okay, I'm usually looking at Cowboys Mark 94 Gmail, and I must have missed it. I'll try and find it again and get it to you. It's been kind of crazy trying to get everything together and all that. So, Phil, are you excited that we're only a month away from training camp?
Yeah, man, closer and closer to football, man. It's just like I'm trying to keep my mind distracted, but it can only go so far, especially when there's no news to get excited about, with free agents or any of that.
Well, we still are sitting here with $22.4 million. I still think that we have a hole at linebacker. I'm kind of worried about being too thin there, and I'm still wondering about the offensive line too. I still can have some concerns about that one as well, and think that we could hire a few veterans. I think if I were the Joneses family, I would look at this and say, I think I've got a really good team right now. And looking at how many players have gone from the NFC to the AFC and say, there's an opportunity here that maybe, we push the chips all in. Let's take that $22 million. You can go ahead and get some contracts and get some guys to make a push to try and make sure you got enough guys to get you over the top. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, Mark. It's very disappointing what's not happening. I don't know about you guys. Yesterday, I happened to watch NFL Network. I was watching the replay of the Dallas Eagles game back in 2018, I want to say. And that was the one where the tip ball at the end, where Amari caught it at the 5 and ran in overtime. I'm worried about our offense. I'm really worried about starting off the season against that competition. CD not being able to, beat a double team, and who's going to step up. That's what I'm worried about, because Gallup's not going to be around. We could say that he's working on the bands and all that. He's going to miss the first month of the season at the very least.
Yeah.
He'll probably not put him on PUP. I'm worried about that part of the offense. I'm really worried about them shutting down CD, and then what? And now we're hearing that they're lowballing Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
So it's not a way to start a training camp. I'm hoping that something happens and we get excited and they sign Anthony Barr, or they sign. I'm all in on. My new pet peeve is the receiver out of Houston that's a free agent. Whom, yeah, help me out, Phil. Who am I thinking of?
Will Fuller.
Will Fuller. That's it.
There you
Thanks,
go,
Thomas. Just let's get somebody in here that can stretch the field. That's who I want. I'm really worried about the beginning of the season. There's no reason why that we need to start 2-3 games behind the Eagles.
Yeah, because the Eagles got a cake schedule that they're going to be able to roll, and it'll be hard to catch up to them. But then again, we beat them a couple of games. That'll help out too. Well, I tell you what, I got back about an hour and a half ago from the CSA show in Chantilly, and we had a bunch of our legends. I mean, from Randy White to Bob Lilly and Bill Bates and things. And, most of you guys, or younger guys and stuff, don't care about the Cowboys in the past. If you're one of those ones that are saying, well, we got 5 rings, then you need to at least educate yourself on the guys that earned those 5 rings. And we're going to be losing, the next few years, a lot of those great ones. We've already lost Marion Barber, who was not that old to begin with. We just lost him. We lost Rayfield Wright. There's a bunch of the older players. I know that Charlie Waters' health is not great. But these guys are getting old. And these guys are the reason why we are America's team.
Especially with those first two wins.
Oh, yeah. And they didn't play because of money. Because most of them had to have a job in the offseason because football didn't pay enough for you to live off of. So they were true diehard Dallas Cowboys players, teammates, and they gave it all on the field. Trust me, all on the field. They're not the same as the players today. Some of these players today are just kind of like entitled, spoiled. They don't really care about the team as much as I am a 1099 employee, okay? I'm my own business, and I'm just here to make the biggest paychecks that I can. That love and that passion is not there with these guys.
I was going to say, back then, they were only making, about $10,000 a year?
Right. I mean, Cliff Harris literally got an ultimatum from his off-season job, this oil company. They basically told him, either you're going to play football or you're going to work for us. And at that time, he was like, well, I kind of had a couple of concussions, and so I figured I better stick with the oil company, because that'll be there a lot longer than football will. Which is crazy when you think about this now. Now, I'm going to tell you who I've got a new guy that I am truly rooting for the Cowboys. And maybe this will help, Brian, with your fear of Michael Gallup not being there. I tell you what.
Mr. Tolbert.
Tolbert. I really like his personality. I like the smile on his face. He saw it was so cool because this is signed by him. I'm gonna be giving this away, in upcoming shows. I got all these plaques and stuff signed that we'll be giving away. He saw that. He was like, "Man, this is cool. Can I take a picture of it?" I was like, "Of course you can take." I was like, "I'll send you one." So his aide gave me the business card with the address to send him one. So we're gonna make him one of those. But maybe, just maybe, that there's some guys that end up stepping up on this team that we're not thinking about. And, I had a person say something to me from what they got. Now, again, this is just kind of hearsay. But as far as Amari Cooper went and the Cowboys trading him to the Browns, from what he had heard from people that he knew, and again, I'm not guaranteeing that this is correct or not, but when the Browns were examining his ankle, that they're basically saying that he's like one ankle injury away from just being shot, and basically looked at him as damaged goods. Now, you look at the history of Amari Cooper, going back to the Raiders, he's always had issues with the ankle. And you think that he had a clean-out surgery, January of last year, Dak had 2 surgeries where he literally, completely decapitated. I know it's not the right term. His ankle. Dak was back before Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper started on the PUP list in training camp. There could be something to that. It was one of those things that the Cowboys are kind of like, okay, his ankle is shot. We're not going to offer you a whole lot. Take it or leave it. And the Cowboys kind of said, you know what? Maybe we're better off taking it and just getting rid of it.
I think it was the COVID thing. I think it
was that too.
The rift with Dak. There was a little rift there.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I'm not upset that we let him go. I'm just upset is, okay, what's going to happen when somebody double teams CD? Listen, I don't care how good you are. It's hard to beat a double team.
Yeah.
That's the end of the. So who's going to step up? I love Jalen Tolbert. I'm just worried that we're not just early on in the season until Gallup gets in. I just worry, and I think our defense is going to be saving our bacon early on in the season, which is great. But why give any ground if we don't have to? Like you said, Mark, we got almost $23 million ready to spend. Let's go get somebody. Let's go get Anthony Barr. Let's go get a receiver that can stretch the field.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
That's it.
Now,
or more out of CD. Not CD, but Amari Cooper. And if we'd have just used him in the draft to trade up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, that whole thing just wasn't handled well. But you know what the cure for all that would be? The cure for all that would be being able to run the football. That is going to be the key for the offense this season.
They did a better job out there.
Need to mute.
All right, David. You got to mute you.
So,
They did a much better job out there.
so who's having a conversation with their wife?
David.
Where?
Is that David? Okay. David, let me...
Hold on.
Okay, there we go. All right, I muted him. The key to all of this is going to be being able to run the football. If you can open up some lanes and run the football, okay, force teams into, of course, 8 men in the box, you can start play action and move in the pocket and dack around. You can use that 12 personnel, and I think they're going to have to use a lot of 12 personnel, especially early in the season, to go ahead and get some things going. If they can't run the football and are missing Michael Gallup, then you got some real problems.
Yeah, I mean, that's great that we can, I understand what you're saying, Mark, and we want to run the ball. That's good, but why take a step back? It's not like we're up against the cap. We have plenty of money. Let's just use every tool we have. If we have somebody that can stretch the field, that opens up the run too. That just makes everything easier. Right now I'm disappointed that we haven't done nothing, because if there's one major injury, God forbid, that's
offensive line or
let's
linebackers.
Say CD gets hurt. Let's say CD pulls a hammy. What are we doing?
We're in trouble.
We're in deep shit, aren't we?
We're in deep trouble.
Yeah. So why are we waiting for that and then being in a position to where we have to overpay? Let's just go let's go get our holes filled now. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that we haven't done it.
What's up, Lisa? How you doing? What's up, Lisa? How are you doing? See, you're making too much sense, though, Brian. We're talking about Catboy.
I'm excited about the season, but I'm just looking at the negative shit that could happen. And we know what the Eagles, we know what their schedule starts out as. They're going to be 4-1. You can't help but be 3-2, 4-1. You cannot help it.
Yeah.
So we need to hold ground early in the season. So we got all this money. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Absolutely nothing. Gotcha. Shout out to John Jones on the super chat. I agree with you on that. But again, we got no control over that. That's Stephen Jones.
Catboy.
That's Catboy.
Yeah, Catboy is right.
They been nuts.
But maybe, but you know what? Maybe there's something to, if the Cowboys do get a slow start and have to try and, play like they mean it to get a run, maybe that they'll be battle tested trying to get into the playoffs and, have some momentum.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't.
It's a long 17 games is a long season.
We're too good a team to take a back seat to anybody in the NFC East. I don't care what the Eagles are talking. If we're, you know what I mean, it's just like, why even go down that road? Let's go get a couple pieces, and let's be ready to roll.
I'd be more concerned about the tight end position, I think.
Yeah, they're like lowballing Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
I think Ferguson's going to be good for us.
I do too.
I agree too.
But he's still going to be a rookie.
Of Schultz and Ferguson, can you trust McEwen? Can
Springer?
you trust Sprinkle?
Sprinkle.
No? So, I mean, the other guys you have are just undrafted guys, and there's nobody. That's where I'm more concerned with, because in the wide receiver, you have a lot of people in the room that have potential, and I mean, that's a terrible word to use.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, I mean, that's how a lot of them are when you get past the first three. You know, Gallup, James Washington, CeeDee Lamb. You know, what do you got? You got Jalen Tolbert, which you think you're definitely going to have a good rookie year because who's he taking? You know, he's got to get the numbers, the opportunities in there.
Mm-hmm.
Simi Fehoko, we're not really throwing our stuff in there, but, you know, we're hoping. You know, Noah Brown has been within this offense. You have TJ Vasher that has been having a really good bank.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy. That's my guy.
Drummond is getting a lot of, like, as well, too. So, I mean, there are guys there, but again, not like you're saying where you feel reliable to these guys. I'm more, again, concerned once if Schultz was to do anything, or if, you know, when McEwen goes down, what's after that? Like, that is my concern.
I just worry, Phil, at the beginning. Let's just look at the beginning of the year. Okay, we're playing Tampa.
Yeah,
and let's
got some tough games.
And they're doubling CD. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? We're gonna run the ball. Okay, they're gonna stack the box. So, we're relying on a rookie, and who else? You know what I mean? It's very scary that we can't do what we need to do now. If we got somebody to stretch the field, then it's a game changer. I
agree too, but it's also up to Kellen Moore to change the game plan now because our
he's got to.
He has to.
He's got to.
He has to. Because now we can't do it like last year where we were in a sling out shootout with Tom Brady. This year it's got to be more of
a slugfest
bit on the defense as we soak up some of this time with what everybody's saying, the running game. You know.
Let's not forget that we're going to go into the season, as far as we know right now, with no injury. We're going with a rookie left guard. Yep. We all have we all have the greatest vision for what he's going to be. He's a rookie left guard. Okay, so
I feel better about his lowest compared to
Connor Williams'
highest.
Yeah.
You know? But you're going to see that up close and personal, Phil. Yeah, I'm sure Connor Williams is going to be the talk of the town in Miami, but we all know what he's about. He's going to be holding and pulling and grabbing, and he's going to be blown up in the backfield. So,
you know, Brian, I said it last night. I told a couple of buddies of mine. I said, man, I'm telling y'all, you know, we start off with Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. I told them, I said, man, y'all talking about all this stuff, you know, these first few games of the year. The one thing that I'm worried about is experience. You know, especially, you know, playing against Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. That's the one thing I'm worried about is the experience.
Yeah, it's good to have all this youth, but when you come to Tom Brady, you need a little bit of savviness.
Right.
You know?
Agreed on that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, you need a whole team that's veterans when you're doing that, though.
I mean, everybody's saying that we want to get to Tom Brady. Tom Brady doesn't take sacks. He just don't. Unless you're getting it through the A gap, which is that's
he can't stand pressure in his face.
Knock on wood. Hopefully, we can get that. But if we're not getting through the A gap, you're not getting to Tom Brady because he will get rid of the ball.
There's no doubt about that. You got to have a good pass rush to get to him. There's no way we're.
And I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I'm excited. I think we're going to be good. But if you're asking me what my concerns are, let's be realistic here. Our first four teams that we play are really good.
Yeah.
So we
then
need
it gets a little easier.
Mark's saying, hopefully we go to 12 personnel. Do you have faith that our offensive coordinator is going to do that?
He did the first
problem, Votto.
He did the first half of the season.
That's our problem.
You know, we can only hope. I'm going to be at Mark's one day, and we'll be live streaming, and I'm going to be probably throwing a few F-bombs. I can just see it now.
Yeah, I can see it too.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the first one that's dropping those in there.
I know.
I'm going to take.
I drop them all the time.
Yeah.
But you're not live streaming though. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe we do play second fiddle to Philadelphia for the first part of the season because the worst part of their season doesn't happen until the back half.
Yeah. That's going to be the narrative, Troy. That's going to be the narrative. It's going to be, well, look at the Eagles. They're out. They're 2 games ahead in the division.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when they hit the back half, because they're going to have to play Tampa too, I believe, right?
No, they don't
just
play.
Saying,
oh no,
I get to that. Let's go get Will
We play all the
Fuller.
first place teams.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, Stacy, how you doing?
Stacy!
How are you?
Okay, so I want to play something real quick in here. Stuart had, we went down to Stuart's house, and I now have a new family, and that's the Morrison family. I think I've been adopted and things. And we fulfilled one of two wishes that Stuart had in his passing. Today, like I said, I was at the CSA show. I met a bunch of great fans and stuff. And I've got to make a point of making sure that I carry those little footballs around with me, because whenever anybody comes up to me and says, hey, I watched your show, or I know you, I want to give them a football and say thank you. We did get Micah Parsons' signature on this football, which is actually a Micah Parsons NFL football. They were kind of hurrying with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons had so many people in line there that he was basically just kind of like, it was like cattle just being, going to slaughterhouse and stuff. So they're pushing people through. But I did the best that I could to deliver the Super Bowl message for Stuart, and I want to show you guys that right now. How are you doing? I have actually a message, Micah. A good friend of mine, Stuart, the biggest Cowboys fan in the world, gave me this. He passed away 2 weeks ago. We went down there, we fixed his mom's house. His second request, dying-wise, the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. So I'm delivering that message to you, okay? We took care of Mama's house. I need you guys to win number 6 for us. So he told me to hold on to this. You signed it a couple of years for him. A year ago. I want to see that $50,000 necklace that you got too, man. All right, we're out. Okay, so it was kind of rushed through there, but I think I at least got the essence of the message there on it.
What did he say at all, Mark?
He just kind of smiled and said, okay.
That's crazy, man. Why can't we give the people the time that they deserve?
Well, I tell you what, Randy, here's what was cool. Randy White, this is a true story. David Wiley and I, David was there with me. I went into another line, right? And David Wiley was in the same spot with me, with Randy White. I got through George Teague's line, talked to George Teague and everything else. He loved the print. He's like, man, I want one of those. And got his address to go ahead and make him one and send him one.
He's a man.
Oh, man, because I got the picture of him literally shoving T.O. off the star. I go through that whole line, and it doesn't look like David Wiley has moved at all. Randy White, you could have brought a 6-pack of beer, sat down next to Randy White, drank 3 of them. He would have drank the other 3, and, it wouldn't have taken any more time than what he was doing. He spent so much time with people. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Randy White is the man. I met him years ago, early 90s.
Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the difference between old school and school. That's why I'm like you. I like the old school.
100%.
I met Randy back in early 90s. I think it was 92 or 93 when I went down. And my God, he is the epitome. He was nasty. He was the epitome of a Dallas Cowboy football player. He is nasty. Even to this day, if you see him, well, Mark saw him today. He could tell you.
Oh, no, you know what?
He is.
He's actually a really nice guy now.
No, nasty as he is. He's got that edge. He has, in a good way. He was so gracious to me and my brother, and he's just a nasty football player. He carries that. He has that edge wherever he goes. He's a Dallas Cowboy for life.
He's still built pretty well. Now, the thing
he don't walk too great, but
the thing I was talking with Troy before the show is, unfortunately, heroes that I grew up watching, so many of the Dallas Cowboys greats and things, they're getting old. And just like losing Rayfield Wright, losing Marion Barber, we're going to be losing a lot of these legend Cowboy players over the next, few years, 5 years or so like that. If you get a chance to, one, look at some of these highlights and look at what football really was back in the day and how violent it really was and what these guys sacrificed. Get a chance to get to know these guys, because I'm telling you, football would not be football without them. And every chance that I get to see some of the old guys, and you know, it's not that I don't have Randy White's autograph, because I've got Andy White's autograph probably 5 or 6 times. It's just one of those things that I want to see them every opportunity that I can, because I don't know how many more opportunities I'm going to have.
Mark.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you let us know, maybe, you know, as much ahead of time as possible when these shows are coming up, so maybe some of us can try to attend them as well?
Sure. I've been talking about this one for a couple of weeks now. That's going on. But I will make sure. I will make sure that I let everybody know. You know, basically there's one in April and then there's one in June every year with the CSA show. They have one in October, but you don't get that many actual players. Usually the one in April is the one that you get mostly the now players. This one ends up being more of the you know, older players. You know, we had DeMarcus Ware was there. DeMarcus Ware was great. DeMarcus Ware, literally, I hadn't even pulled Jobu out. He saw Jobu in the car. He's like, tell me about the doll. Okay, so we had to pull out Jobu. I haven't gotten that video and stuff done yet. But, you know, usually these older players, they're out of the limelight. They like the attention that they have because, you know, once the lights stop playing, once you're out, most fans just don't really care about who you are. And that's a sad thing, because these guys are giving literally everything to the sport. You know, you think of,
without, you know, generational wealth, you know, these guys played for I mean, early on they had the off-season jobs. You know, I mean,
Mark told us, I had no clue that they had to have, you know, jobs in the off-season.
Yep, absolutely.
Give me an example.
60s and 70s.
Give you an example, Concrete Charlie, Chuck Vignerich. He wasn't nicknamed Concrete Charlie because he hit people.
He had a concrete business.
Right, in the off-season, he was pouring concrete. Okay, now he did hit you like a concrete truck, but that was the kind of thing that you ended up having, that these guys had jobs in the off-season because football was not paying you that much money. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, we need to respect guys like Charlie Waters. Randy White is the ultimate cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, looking back, he's the ultimate cowboy. Bob Lilly was there too. I have Bob Lilly's autograph on a mini helmet, thank God. But Mark, how was Charlie Waters? Charlie
Waters? Okay, see, Charlie Waters, the last time I saw him was probably about 5 years ago. And at 5 years ago, you could tell that he was not doing well. He was the presenter for Cliff Harris, but he wasn't actually there. And I remember Cliff Harris talking about how, you know, Charlie's not, you know, health was not good. And that's where, from seeing Bill Bates probably about 4 years ago when they had a celebrity golf tournament against Washington football players and stuff, and seeing him now in that 4 years, he looks like he's really aged quite a bit. And that's where I was like, whoa. And that's where you start realizing, you know, the whole thing with Rayfield Wright. Wright seemed like...
Yeah, we thought we...
Rayfield Wright, you know, seemed sharp as a tack. Awesome. You know, and here it was, you know, he's gone. And so that's where you got to understand that life is truly precious. Shout out to you, Linda. What's up? I appreciate the kind words.
Hey, Mark.
Yes,
there is one comment in the comment section I wanted to address. It was Carolina Cowboys saying Tampa Bay is our 17th or extra game. No, the extra game is against an AFC team usually.
The Bengals.
Yep, this year it's the Bengals.
Yeah. But I think the Bengals are going to come back down to earth.
I think they will too.
I think that's one. You know, if you look at teams that lose the Super Bowl
like that and expect to have any longevity as far as being good, that's where it all starts. I mean, that's where it starts.
Hey, Vado, how you doing today, Vado?
Be defined by how Tyler Smith is going to be. Let's be honest.
Well, I hope he pans out pretty well.
I mean, if he don't, then we in trouble. That's just the bottom line. I think he'll be good, but
here's the thing that still that still mystifies me is, you think about the Eagles didn't have a mini camp at all, and we might as well not. We only had one practice, and then we went out to go, shoot some golf.
Top golf.
But, now there's only 14 padded practices. There's really not a whole lot of time to teach and get guys up to speed.
Exactly.
We used to have like 6 weeks of training camp, 2-a-days and everything else to educate you and teach you. Right now, it's just kind of like, okay, here we go. Let's play the season.
One little soft tissue injury, and you're basically missing most of training camp these days.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. You're going to be on the side with the bands and hopefully learning the playbook. Let's just hope that our rookies and our young players are on it now and they stay healthy. If that's the case, then I think that we're going to be fine. But God forbid, because Tolbert's been marred with soft tissue injuries already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just worried about our offense early on. That's all. I just am, because we're counting on our running game with a rookie left guard. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I understand Brian's concern. I mean, you had last year a really good-looking offense, and then look what they did.
Right.
And now you don't have a really great-looking offense, unless you're thinking that they're going to do worse, But
and I'm scared looking at. I was just looking at highlights, and like I said, that the 2018 game against the Eagles that went to overtime, that Amari Cooper caught that tip ball, that Dak threw for a touchdown to win it. Amari caught like 3 touchdowns that game. Amari, he runs great routes. It's a lot to say, okay, CD, you're number 1. Now, you got to, who's going to run that?
Brian, don't sugarcoat it. You don't have much faith in CD, do you?
You remember how McGovern was playing and we couldn't run the ball?
He couldn't get to the second level at all.
Switched over.
He couldn't at all.
And you actually switched over to Connor Williams, and you could kind of run the ball
a little bit.
A little bit
in between the penalties.
A little bit more. You're like, okay, we can open up the playbook a little bit more. I think that's what you get with Tyler Smith. You get a better run blocker.
I hope you're right.
It's obviously it's the stuff in the passing game, but I'm not as concerned about that spot as I am more about the spot right next to him, and that's Tyron Smith. I mean that right there is the more.
God forbid he goes down, right, Phil? I mean, God forbid. Then what, Mark?
I don't think the
Josh
coaching staff is going to just go, okay, let's go. Well, let's go, or let's go. They're gonna let's go ahead and just cue up the music and do the musical chairs.
Yeah, I'm just annoyed that our franchise has put us in the position to have to be healthy. We know that this game allows us not to be healthy, and that's just the way it is. You're going full speed against 300-pound men. You're not going to stay healthy. So why are we so thin on the O-line, and why are we so
thin?
Linebacker. Exactly. Linebacker. Why?
Derek, I was trying to get you to.
I think there's a glaring difference between the starters and the backups, but in a lot of the spots there aren't, and that's where we're getting the depth now. I'm not saying it's in every single position. Obviously, wide receiver, it kind of drops. There you don't know what you have behind it. Tight end as well. You got quarterback. I think that is a big one. Between your starter and your backup. But I feel better about the defensive line compared to, Osa's going to go out, but Neville Gallimore comes in. And, Lawrence goes out, but, Dante Fowler comes in. He goes, Sam Williams goes out, but you got Dorrance Armstrong that comes in. I just
hope next week that we're talking about Anthony Barr or somebody. I'm not even saying Anthony Barr. We need another linebacker in there. We need a receiver of some sort. You can't tell me that we're not going to sign another receiver. You can't tell me that.
I think they're just waiting for the people to start getting cut.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they'll do, and they will be bargain basement guys.
Then you got to learn the playbook, and then you got to get on the page with Dak.
Mm-hmm.
But you're hoping that guy that you bring in can do all that very quickly because he's named.
I hope you're right. Phil.
Well, as far as Anthony Barr goes, I think the Cowboys are playing like a game of chicken because I think Anthony Barr wants to be here. They want him here, and they're hoping that the longer they wait, then maybe he'll take a deal less than that $10 million that he was looking for.
Is Barr a free agent then? Or?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And he's not signed with anybody, and you haven't heard anybody with interest,
I'm shocked
thus far.
that Minnesota didn't offer him another contract.
Well, we'll see. So far, no.
Wasn't there talk one time about Deion Jones at one point?
Well, not the Cowboys, but of course the talking heads were. I mean, anytime anybody's a free agent or is out there, of course they're looked at as, oh, the Cowboys should sign this guy or that guy.
Why trade for Deion Jones?
I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Agree.
That would be the dumbest shit to ever do.
That sounds exactly what they would do.
Yeah.
Cowboy, who you? Cowboy. Here we go. Something like that.
Oh yeah, we agree. We definitely agree.
What's up, Votto? How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm going to say I believe that the Cowboys' offensive line is going to be better than it was last year.
I agree because my thing with Tyler Smith, that he agreed that Connor Gooding, he couldn't bring it off.
Yeah.
By the time Zeke had the ball in his hand, he was already getting hit.
He had to make moves in the backfield, right?
Tyler Smith got that nasty to him.
Yeah,
He
definitely
got
a
more
trucker.
strength.
Yep.
He's going to bring that attitude that an offensive line is missing.
Yeah.
I think my
He's
main
gonna bring
problem.
that one to beat your ass every game.
I think my main issue, Trucker, is I'm just worried. Why are we allowing other teams to close the gap on us when I think we are far and above better than the Eagles, Washington, and the Giants?
I can agree
so
with that.
why not go out and get just a couple pieces? We don't have to tap into the whole $23 million under the cap. And let's just get a couple spots. Just let us all take a sigh of relief, a big breath, saying, okay, we got a receiver that can stretch the field.
Yeah.
We have an extra linebacker. Why? Why are we going in like holding our breath? That's all.
How much?
Because that's what we do.
Yeah. I don't know, Troy, but I think that's a perfect fit.
I think
I think you would be
Will
too.
Fuller?
Yeah.
Anytime
What's he wanting?
Oh,
What's-
hell no.
If you
Why the
anytime
hell
one
we
of
gonna
those
get
fast
somebody?
guys,
No.
he's injured,
He's
though.
fast, but he
He
hasn't
stretches
played a
the
full
field.
season in his whole career.
He
Yeah, but
stretches the
anybody
Why
field.
go get somebody who has not played more than I think is.
But Michael
games
Gallup
played
hasn't played a whole
13.
season either. So do we get rid of him? No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
No,
what I'm
but
saying.
Michael Gallup also brings more than just a downfield.
Yeah, I hear you.
I know that, but
I hear you,
Fuller-
Trucker.
But when you have
You
to
already
worry about
have
that,
that. Why
speed,
go do it again?
If it was me, and if it was Terrell, and if it was Jay Nook, we would all want the guy out of Seattle, but that's not going to happen. So
Yeah, we're
DK
not-
Metcalf, yeah, that definitely is not going to happen.
Funny
We're not trading. Yeah, we're not trading for DK Metcalf.
we're lowering our expectation, and what would be good? We need a guy who could stretch the field. Just have Fuller run the 9 route. Just have him run the 9 route, and that's going to open up.
So you can pull a hammy.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I
pull a
hear
hammy
you.
every time he runs it now. Come on now.
I hear you, but I mean, I do hear you. But he was always expected to be the number 1 guy where he was. He won't be now.
So what are we hearing the plan is
Never
for
been a
Jalen
number 1 guy.
Tolbert?
And that's what I'm saying. Why go get Will Fuller when we got Jalen Tolbert? We got James Washington who can stretch the field.
Think of
I
CeeDee
think-
Lamb's rookie year, boom, and insert Tolbert. That's what you.
There you go.
Right. I'm
So-
I'm hoping that
But
works out
CeeDee
that
Lamb's
way.
rookie year was not a bad year.
Exactly, and that's where you're gonna get. You're gonna have your drops. You're gonna have your things where he messes up in the play, but you're gonna have a really good year because who is gonna take the reps from him? You know.
James Washington is going to surprise me.
I think so.
I love
James
James
Washington, I
Washington.
think, is going to be the one that is going
He's
to
not
surprise you.
injured right now. He hasn't
Yeah.
practiced a bit in the last month.
Well, but here's the thing: you've got another month before training camp starts. And how much real practicing did we do?
Will Fuller don't bring half of what James Washington brings. James Washington can stretch the field. James Washington can go up and get the ball. James Washington gives you yak.
I love
Will
James
Fuller
Washington.
outruns everybody. That's it.
Now, don't
But
get me
when
wrong.
you think you're set out of position,
No.
that's when you add one more guy, just because
I
of
don't
injury.
think we're set. I don't think we're set.
There's a difference.
But
in
I'd
speed between
rather
them, but-
I'd rather wait
Where is Barry?
because you know there's going to be a good veteran that's going to get cut. Why
Barry,
not wait and
you
get
got your hand
veteran?
raised.
How much
Unmute
do
your
they got in
mic,
the tank, though.
Barry.
More than
Barry,
Will Fuller.
unmute your mic so we can get you.
Will Fuller a fart and pull a hamstring.
Well, anybody can pull a hamstring these days because nobody really practices
Amari
anymore.
Cooper was the biggest hamstring guy.
Hamstring and ankle.
His was his toe. His ankle. There you go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look for an edge and what would fit our team, whether it's Will Fuller or a name that I don't know. That's fine. I don't care if it's Will Fuller.
I think another thing we need to look out for is TJ Bass.
I'm all on board with Vasher. From everything I'm hearing and from what Phil's saying, this dude has a ceiling that I'm excited about. So it may be Vasher.
He's not the 4.3 or 4.4 speed like Will Fuller, but ain't nobody gonna out-jump him. Ain't nobody gonna outreach him. Like that's our red zone. That's a red zone threat just off of him being on the field.
Linda, who are we going to get with all the cap space? Probably nobody, knowing Cap Boy. I think he's thinking that he gets to pocket that extra change himself. Hopefully we'll end up getting some people, but I think they're going to wait until training camps start opening and they start releasing guys and stuff and start picking up guys on the cheap.
And see who they can,
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line is they want to bring in guys cheap.
Yeah.
But we also got some pretty good undrafted free agent wide receivers too.
I think they got a lot of good undrafted free agents. Period. I think.
But they need time.
I mean, you got a center there, and Alex Lindstrom that I really honestly think could in the next year or so could beat out those two at center. So I mean, you got a good safety in Bell. I mean, wow.
Marquez Bell, yeah.
So I mean, you got some linebacker if you're there. So it's like, they've been doing really good on the undrafted part. I think what may have helped was the fact that they didn't have any late draft picks, so they were already getting aware of what they needed to do and was already game planning like really, really early.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one how it works out. You know, they may have their eyes on some guys that they think are, you know, we don't need to go out and get anybody else because, you know, maybe T.J. Vasher is with that 6'6" is a beast, and they figure that he's going to be a weapon. You know, people aren't stars until they become stars, and they may believe that we've got some guys that can break out. You know, we could go back to last year's defense and say we need to go out and sign a whole lot of guys and stuff because we say our defensive line sucks, our safeties suck. We were looking and saying we only had Donovan Wilson, but then all of a sudden Jaron Kearse comes around and plays really, really well. You get a rookie in Micah Parsons who ends up being, you know, everything you want in a ham sandwich. And, you know, you have a cornerback in his second year take a major step forward. So who's to say we don't have some of those guys right now that might not do some of that same stuff, and they're seeing them in the gun right now, ready to fire.
Yes. Yeah, I saw an article where they're comparing, or they're saying it's going to be either T.J. Vasher or Simi Fehoko with that last roster spot.
But another person I don't think we talk about enough is Malik Hooker. We do not talk about Malik Hooker, what he did to that defense last year. He's the one, I think, when he came on, I think that's what shored up our safety.
Take care of Tucker.
I probably agree on that one. I think he'll be better this year because he's not coming off of a major injury and he understands the defense more. So I definitely agree with you on that one, Trucker.
Well, I think.
Yeah, I think a positive is our safety position. When we're talking about Donovan Wilson as being an extra guy,
right?
We're good.
We have a luxury right now at safety in comparison to where we were.
That's the question. Where's your link? Where's your weak link there? I think your guy that just gets injured, like you were saying, it's just everything looks pretty solid there. It's nice to see compared to a couple of years. It you know, a little worrisome in the cornerback position because you got obviously Joseph that needs to grow up. You know, you don't know what you have, you know, much behind them. Obviously,
we're good.
Everybody's on the whole Anthony Brown. What happens with him?
Oh, everybody hates Anthony Brown.
Mark.
Need to grow up because I think Kelvin Joseph, he was with the wrong crowd. He didn't do nothing wrong. And I think him seeing that the people he was hanging out with didn't have his best interests at mind, I think that opened his eyes. Being somebody who grew up in the hood, you don't know until you know. Yeah, you might think you made it, but
I mean, hopefully he learned. I mean,
didn't
Pac-Man
really
Jones
make
took
it.
a while to learn. So.
Oh Lord, did he take a time to learn?
He
I
took
mean,
longer.
But you got to realize
I think he's still learning.
it's just one
Hey,
person
Mark.
that people
Yeah.
always talk about being immature.
Who wears the
Look at,
green dot?
for instance, I'm gonna use. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
J-Ron
Who wears
Curse.
the green dot, Mark?
I think J-Ron Curse is going to be calling it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Curse.
it's either him or it's going to be. It might be Micah this year, but I don't think
See,
so.
that
I think
actually,
it'll be,
J-Ron Curse was actually
J-Ron.
calling a lot of it last year.
J-Ron.
Because that actually, you'd rather have that where you can have Micah focusing in on getting after the quarterback's ass.
Yeah, normally you say it's a linebacker, but
Yeah.
in this case, I think you're right. I think it's J-Ron.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
I'd say
think
that.
would be an amazing thing that if you were allowed to stick a Micah Parsons jersey on Sam Williams and just let the offense try to figure out which one's the real Micah,
Double vision there,
Be an
yeah.
awesome strategy.
They do look a lot alike. Okay, they really do look a lot alike. But
Yeah, not only do they look alike, if you look at their skill set is almost. I'm saying almost identical.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there, but
Yeah.
obviously Micah is just a ridiculous beast.
Going to be an interesting season.
People better open their eyes to Sam Williams.
I would say buckle up because I think we're going to be good. Ultimately, I think early on it could be like we're going to hear all the pundits talking their shit, saying, "Oh, the Eagles," but just look at the schedule. That's how it all normally pans out.
Mm-hmm.
We have a tough schedule. If we can hold our own and go 500 in the first 4 or 5 games,
then it looks good the second half.
The defensive line, I think that's going to be it. If the defensive line can do their thing right off the bat, boom, everything else kind of will hopefully fall in place. The corners get their interceptions, the offense gets their extra possessions. So it's just, I think that's the key right there.
Yeah, I think if
that and our offensive line being able to open
if
some
our
holes.
defense isn't good, Phil, we're in trouble.
There's no question we're going to have to hang with Philadelphia the best we can.
Yeah. They got such an easy schedule early on. And anyway.
I got a question. Do you guys think that Williams is going to stay at the end, or do you think they might put him outside?
If he's an outside linebacker, he'd be a Von Miller type where he just, he's just rushing the passer from a wider position. So I think he could jump back and forth. He doesn't have.
Look at it.
I think. Hold on. I was going to say that I don't think he has the ability to stop the run as an outside linebacker would need to, to hold that outside. So his strength is what is probably going to be his weakness in his first year. Is that he's, I've been watching a lot of film to do this next video, and man, trust me, that's his problem. Is that, am I off? Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's going to be the thing. If you'll just probably have him that first year, just strictly, go get the quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Go stick him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think watching what I've seen of him and playing that defensive end outside linebacker in high school and the little bit I played in college, I could see him being an outside linebacker. Just because when you stand him up, his eyes are better. You actually get to see the back. You can see the backfield. You can read the ball a lot easier than having his hand in the dirt.
So do you trust him to go and cover a wide receiver or a tight end? I mean, because he's going to need to do that if he's out there.
Well, we didn't expect Micah Parsons to do it either.
Well, Micah Parsons did it. No. Come on now. He can cover.
He's got the speed to be able to do it with that 4.46. But now keep in mind that the Cowboys run that hybrid 4-3-3-4 defense where sometimes, Randy Gregory's hand was in the dirt. Sometimes Randy Gregory was coming, standing up. So, he will have to play basically outside linebacker some of this defense as well.
That was my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he's
that's why I was asking.
I mean, Randy Gregory, when he did it, was he covering? No.
He was out the flats a few times, yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Though, but we're talking about, is he going to be in that sole position? But, yeah, I think, yes, you're right. Then if you're saying, will he play that position? Yes, I think he will play that position. Because this is Dan Quinn. He could be playing the safety position, all you know.
Right. He's going to mix that shit up and give you some different looks.
So I was gonna say, do you think they put him into more of that defensive end position, or do you think he mixes it up 50-50?
To be honest, I would love to see Micah, Jabril, Sam Williams. My opinion.
I think you leave Micah as the all over the place guy. I think if you lock him in at the end, I think that limits him in a overall defensive scheme type of deal. I think, if you're a quarterback and you don't know where, Micah could be lining up over the center.
Right.
That doesn't mean that's where he's going to come from. You know what I mean? He could drop
Yeah,
back.
he could stun it
Yeah,
and go
I
come
love
up another
that
gap.
with Micah. So let's just hope that they keep him as the wild card type of guy. I don't want to line him up, 30 times at the end.
Because, I was gonna say, keep him pretty close to the line wherever whether it's linebacker or roving linebacker.
Yeah, I don't want to see him 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage playing that. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
I'd love
unless
to
he's
see
getting
him.
a running start to the quarterback, then I'm good.
Right, Phil?
You know what I'd love to see teams do is take their, when their running back has to block a person coming up a gap, have Micah just hang back just a little bit longer and then rush the gap because there's nobody else left to
And
to
he
block
has
him.
the speed to close
And
the distance.
he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. I never understood why everybody just rush the quarterback. Sometimes it's good to take a 1,000, 2,000, then you know what I mean,
and then go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I honestly, Micah Parsons, what you want is if he were to be in a full-time defensive end, then the teams know, okay, we got to leave the running back in to chip out, or we got to leave an extra tight end over there, and we can neutralize them. You want teams to have to worry about, where is Micah? You want that quarterback to come to the line of scrimmage and say, is he defensive end? Is he outside of D-Law? Or is he on the other side over here coming? Or is he in the A-gap, coming through? Or is he just cheating to the line and then going off in coverage? You want that quarterback to have as many unknowns and have to think about as much as possible on there.
Yeah, the more math that he's got to compute in his head before he snaps the ball is what you want.
Dan Barkley, dude, get the fuck out of here. Trade Dak for Baker. Come on, man. There's always.
Come on, man. Just get rid of this fucking clown. I'm sorry. Excuse my language, but come on.
He is a clown.
Yeah, exactly, Vito. He's a clown.
What's up, Eagles of America? I mean, come on, man.
He's a top 10 QB. If you don't like it, move on.
That's probably an Eagle fan, hoping that we would do something stupid like that.
Go get him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. I spent too much time out in the sun and the cold today.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I spent my time at the Chantilly show.
They got a couple good players. They still gonna screw it up.
Listen, we all know that when CBS, Fox, or whoever, the Dan Orlovsky's is telling us that the Eagles are gonna win a division, they ain't winning the damn division. We know that. We know that now.
I can see our Cowboys going undefeated again in the division, unless we've locked up the division and we play Washington and we rest everybody.
We're going 5-1 in the division. I'm telling you now, and we'll lose at Philly, unfortunately.
I was gonna say, where are you putting the loss?
Yeah,
at?
we're losing
Philly?
to Philly. We ain't losing to the Giants, and we ain't losing to Washington. So that's pretty fair.
All right. Well, let's get in our final thoughts here. I've actually got to leave early in the morning, so I've got some work I need to do in the workshop. I got to get Jalen Tolbert's sign in the works here because he wants one of these. I mean, excuse me, his print and stuff in place. So
everybody,
give me your final thoughts. And let me say before I go any further that I'm happy that Troy Daniels is back because we were so worried about you.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. You
can't go without at least.
You got to at least let Jobu Sports know that you're still alive. Okay, I mean, come on, man. Don't have us here worried like that.
Text me one more time and I'll store it in my phone for you.
Okay, all right.
Mark was telling me he was calling you. I'm like, are you
Seriously.
calling the right number?
I mean, seriously. Where is my phone? Must be inside the house. But seriously,
You know what?
because that's the only number I've ever called that's Utah. Okay. Because at first I was
That'll
like,
be the only number you call in Utah, right?
right, that's the only one that I've ever called. That may be the first and only one that I've ever called in Utah. So yeah.
Tell you
we were
what,
about to send Thomas Garrett over there, man.
Hey, that works for me. I didn't-
Everybody in this room is
He knows your
family,
neighbor.
so
He knows your neighbor. So just.
Austin
Here, I'll-
Sports says
I'll,
Cowboys are
message
losing
you.
to the Eagles.
I'm tired of listening to the garbage talk. Shut up.
There you go, buddy. He's testing you. Yeah, Vado, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm sorry, Vado, I didn't get that one.
When is camp?
Camp is 1 month from today.
yeah, Mark's going.
Okay. Well, I'm working on it. I'm working on it now. There's no guarantees, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, come on
Yeah,
now.
right. As soon as Mark starts talking about it a month,
Yeah, he gone.
Well,
I don't know
but see,
when we
here's
get that
here's the
day
thing. But see, here's the thing about training camp,
No
though.
guarantee, but I'm gonna try to make it. He makes it.
Here's the thing about training camp, though. They haven't released the actual schedule for it
So you
because.
don't know where it's going to be?
Well, no, you know where it's going to be. It's going to be in
Alright,
Oxnard. But here's the
alright.
thing, though.
California, baby.
Because it's not like it used to be where it was 2-a-days every day, and then a game. Now they
Not a
don't
game.
practice more than
Not a
4
game.
days in a row. And so sometimes they got the weekends off and all that stuff. So, you go ahead and say, oh, we're going to go, these 3 days, and there might be one practice. You know what I mean? So you got to know for sure. You don't want to be there and, we're going to be practicing with the Chargers and we're going to be in L.A. And now you got tickets to stay in Oxnard. So it's kind of dicey until you know exactly what the schedules are, and they haven't released that just yet. And, of course, the longer you wait, the more the plane tickets cost and so on. But I'm trying to work it out to go out for a couple of days.
8-hour drive for me.
Oh, no, it's we're not taking an RV there, okay? LA is about 2,600 miles from me, so I mean that would be like, well, I don't know, but then again, Brian, there's plenty of cones on the way. You interested in a drive?
Yeah.
He was
my boy.
visualizing the Eagle fans. See, that's what he was visualizing.
I was gonna say, Brian, if you want cones to hit, it's cone season in Utah.
Oh man, it's cone hunting season, Brian.
Hey, Mark, don't worry, bro.
I know he's like, fuck you, Mark. Okay. No, seriously though, I will go to war for my man Brian. Brian, he's got a special place in my heart after what we went through getting down the road and back up. Man, that was crazy.
It's not easy driving straight through from Virginia to Texas. It's not.
In an RV that kind of, every time a truck goes by, it kind of
Trust me,
slides.
guys.
Oh,
Trust me. It's not that easy.
Now,
Exactly.
let's go ahead and get ourselves a nice SUV now. That might be a different story.
Driving down the road right now.
I was telling Mark, I said, after I left Mark's house and I came home and I was driving the SUV back to my house, it was like
easy.
driving a little 4-cylinder, in and out of the lanes. Yeah, like driving a 33-foot RV with
through the mountains of Tennessee.
We were coming down the hill and there's a guardrail on the left-hand side and the cones. They were doing road construction. We're literally a foot inside the dotted line. I mean, we're talking very little margin of error, and I was just worried about Mark and his having not to pay the guy who he got the RV from, all the damage on the left hand side. I'm like, all right, I'll hit some cones, and Mark's like, here comes a cone. I'm like, I'm gonna hit a cone. I'm gonna hit at least one cone.
Yeah, run that crap over your line.
Yeah, there you go. Johnny boy, know your history.
RV.
Yeah.
Well, see, you know what we need is we need to get Trucker's Life next time.
Trucker's Life is my man.
We get him. You know what? We'll get him to be our chauffeur.
Yeah, he can hitchhike him. Throw up in the back of the trailer.
He's used to driving the big rigs and stuff, man.
At the end of the day, Mark, it was a beautiful experience.
That it was.
I hope everybody enjoyed what they saw. I sweated my ass off helping out Stuart and his family. I'm glad I did.
I have to congratulate
Going forward, Me and Mark are boys, so I will be at his house, and we're gonna live stream, and we're gonna go to Dallas.
Do
I
it.
know Randy. I don't see Randy in here, but we're gonna get to Dallas for a game.
Yeah.
And we're gonna stop and see Votto.
Yep.
It's all gonna be good.
And we're gonna stop off in Memphis. In Nashville, and see Thomas Garrett, and slap the Titans fans.
It's all gonna be good.
And we might take the long route and go through Carolina and see Roland's review too there. But
Going through North Carolina.
there you go.
Maybe.
We love you, Stacy.
Love
Hey,
you
maybe-
too.
Mark, maybe next time when the Cowboys play the Raiders in Vegas, you can swing by me too.
There you go. I got a whole lot of swinging by.
Troy, come on now. We love you. I was like surfing the internet, and I'm trying to find Troy Daniels. I'm like,
Yeah.
I hope, God forbid, something didn't happen to him.
Yeah.
You can't
No.
do that to us, brother.
I
Yeah.
won't. Believe me. Now that I'm gonna have Mark's number, I can text whenever
Your
something's going
family.
down.
Everybody in this room is family, as far as I'm
Exactly.
concerned.
Don't
So,
you do that to us again, Troy. Or
There
they'll
you go.
Make you pay.
All right, Stacy, you got my promise.
All right.
Somewhere, I love weed. I saw Ricky Williams there, and I was I didn't get that close to him because I didn't buy a ticket and stuff. But I did. It'll be in a video clip. I just gotta get it uploaded. But I said for my buddy, I love weed, wants to hang out with you and pass the Dutchie, because we know my
I don't
man
see
will
Mark
want to do
Perez in
that.
Here, but
Yeah.
I did my job. That's all I can say, Mark.
Oh, you definitely
I
did.
passed the
Hey,
Dutchie, and I
it's
did what I had to
100.
do.
Miss Jackie sent me a text and said it's 107 today.
Votto, you would be proud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait.
Yeah, we gotta go see Votto, Mark. We gotta go.
We
stop and
definitely got to
him.
see Votto.
Yeah.
And we definitely will do that one. All right, so we're going to get ready to get out of here for today. And tomorrow night, what we'll do is, like I said, I got all these prints and stuff done and autographed, and we're going to start giving those things away. I got DeMarcus Ware, I got George Teague, I got Jalen Tolbert over here signature, I got Bill Bates. I'll probably have to save this one right here. This one's Micah Parsons. This one, of course, is the special football here that cost me a boatload of money and stuff. But we'll be definitely giving that one away as well at some point. So Michael is coming in now. You're kind of late to the show there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Barry kept raising his hand. Barry, did you ever speak? I kept saying, unmute your mic. Barry, where are you, Barry? And here's Cowboys for life. We're ending the show and everybody's coming in now. This is crazy.
But all right, guys, you guys have a good one.
All right,
You too,
we will
Trucker.
catch you on the flip side there, Trucker.
Yeah, Tucker.
Fuel up, and then I'm done for the night. I'll talk to you guys
All right,
later.
be safe on the
Be
road.
careful, trucker. I've seen many.
Oh, I'm
videos.
done driving. I'm done
Okay,
driving
you
for the
scared
day.
the
I made
shit
it
out
from
of me.
All
I
right,
just
good
made it
people.
from Chicago to Norman, Oklahoma.
All right, well, we are going to do it live, and we're going to end this
Do it
show.
live.
And I will see you guys later.
All right, Mark. Take care, buddy.
Take care, Mark.
Take care, y'all.
Bye,
We
Mark.
can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Mark, you're
That
too
is
funny.
fair.
That's tomorrow, and that is.